Marginal analysis. Marginal decision making means considering a little more or a little less than what we already have. We decide by using marginal analysis, which means comparing the costs and benefits of a little more or a little less. It is natural for people to compare costs and benefits. But often we look at the total costs and total benefits, when the best choice requires comparing how costs and benefits change from one option to another. In short, you might think of marginal analysis as change analysis. Marginal analysis is used throughout economics. Marginal cost is the difference or change in cost of a different choice. From a consumer's point of view, marginal cost is the additional cost of one more item purchased. For businesses' point of view, marginal cost is the additional cost of one more item produced. Now, the other thing is marginal benefit. We have costs and benefits. 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 Marginal benefit is the difference or change in what you receive from a different choice from a consumer point of view. Marginal benefit is the additional satisfaction of one more item purchased. From a business's point of view, marginal benefit is the additional revenue received from selling one more item. Demand for goods and services. Economists use the term demand to refer to the amount of some good or service consumers are willing and able to purchase at each price. Demand is based on the needs and wants, a consumer way to be able to differentiate between a need and a want. But from an economist's perspective, they are the same thing. Demand is also based on the ability to pay. If you can't pay for it, you have no effective demand. What a buyer pays for a unit of the specific good or service is called the price. The total number of units purchased at the price is called the quantity demanded. A rise in the price of a good or service almost always decreases the quantity of that good or service demand. Conversely, a fall in a price will increase the quantity demanded. When the price of a gallon of gasoline goes up, for example, people look for a way to reduce their consumption by combining several errands. Commuting by carpool or mass trains, or taking weekend or vacation trips closer at home. Economists call this inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded the law of demand. The law of demand assumes that all other variables that affect demand are held constant. Demand curve. A demand curve shows the relationship between price and quantity demanded on a graph with price per gallon on the vertical axis and the quantity of the horizontal axis. Note that this is an exception to the normal rule in mathematics. that the independent variable x goes on the horizontal axis and the dependent variable y goes on the vertical one. A demand curve or a supply curve, which we will cover later in this course, is the relationship between two and only two variables, price on the vertical axis and the quantity on the horizontal axis. The assumption behind a demand curve or a supply curve is that no relevant economic factors other than the product's price are changing. Economists call this assumption ceteris paribus, a Latin phrase meaning other things being equal. Any given demand or supply curve is based on the ceteris paribus assumption that all else is held equal. Therefore, a demand curve or a supply curve is a relationship between two and only two variables when all other variables are held equal. If all else is not held equal, then the laws of supply and demand will not necessarily hold.